Hello everyone, and today we'll be doing an unboxing of the brand new Jakks figures. As you can see, we've got all four here. We have Mighty the Armadillo, Supersonic, Sonic, and Dr. Eggman. So we shall be doing an unboxing video looking at them, and then we shall be doing a little comparison with some of the other figures that came out previously to see how they sit in terms of size with the rest of your collections. So let us jump right in and let us just begin with the main character himself, Sonic. So as you can see, the packaging, this is the nice modern packaging. It comes with the Chaos Emerald, purple Chaos Emerald, and just in the back there, it actually has this very nice little bit at the top here. The world's fastest blue hedgehog, Sonic runs at top speed and can use his special homing attack ability to save the natural world around him. It's not entirely correct, but okay. 11 points for articulation. It shows you all the articulation down there, down the side. And let's get into it. Now, I do not keep these boxes. I, as Zack Ryder says, like to let them breathe. So let's just get rid of this. And we shall see exactly what it comes with inside. Exactly as it says on the box. We have your Sonic figure, and you have the Chaos Emerald. So let us get into it. Chaos Emerald is very neatly put in there. Now the very cool thing is the Chaos Emerald has this little bit at the base, which means it should be able to stand. Very nice. It's off camera. And there we are. So this is very nice. I shall just throw that away. And we shall bring out the main character himself. I find the best way to go about these is to start from the bottom up. Sometimes they really don't want you to get into your things. Let me just... Yeah, even the hands are encased in here. I think this was... Jakks, you need to lay up on your protection. No one is stealing these. Once they've got to this part, it means that the figure has been bought. You don't need to panic. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I'm not finding it. Welcome to opening ASMR. You enjoy the sound of packaging being opened. Oh god, what the hell? Like, it's the hands that's giving the problems here. Man, you know, the hands are really, really stuck in there. There we go, there. Wow, he came out in Sonic running pose. That's a perfect way to start. Very good, okay. So, 11 points of articulation. Let us see what we have. So, we have the legs. They are on this joint. It's not a ball joint. I don't think it is. Knees, they have a pivot. The foot has a little pivot here as well. You can see. The hands are on a ball joint as well. That's quite cool. Didn't expect that. The shoulders. Okay. So the shoulders are on this joint here, so you kind of have them look up. And he obviously has the head movement. In terms of the actual sculpt of the figure himself, he looks quite fantastic actually. It's very highly detailed. Oh my goodness, that's my hat hitting the camera. So yes, it's actually one of the better looking Sonics, if I'm honest with you, in terms of how the face looks. He does also have all the detail on the bottom of the shoes, as well as the shoes itself. The gloves are perfect. His hand looks to be in a kind of gripping motion. I don't think he can put Chaos Emerald in his hand. No, no, okay, doesn't fit. But, okay, now Sonic figures generally are well known for having very bad ability to stand, largely because of the big spikes on the back of the head. But, oh, well, there we go. Okay, seems to be balancing pretty well. It's not terrible. I think in terms of what you get, it's quite a cool little figure. I put him into a little bit of a Smash Brothers Brawl pose there. Again, still having a little bit of balance issue, but they seem to have made a good job of counteracting that. So there we are, that is Sonic. And now to spend the next 15 minutes trying to open the other figures. So let's go with his arch nemesis, Dr. Eggman, Dr. Ivo Kintobar, Dr. Robotnik, depending on which version you want to go with. Dr. Ivo, no. Is it Dr. Ovi Kintobar was his name in the Sonic the comics? So let's see what he says here. Make sure the light's not in the way. An evil genius with an IQ of 300, Dr. Eggman has been battling Sonic for world domination for some time. 13 points of articulation, an additional 2 points of articulation. One of the additional 2 points of articulation are his mustache. I doubt it. According to a Chow in Sonic Adventure 2, he says that the mustache isn't actually real. It is a fake. It is a wig mustache. Whether you believe that to be canon or not is up to you. I think it was actually taken out of the game, that little prompt as well. So I don't think it's even in-game canon, but it's an interesting thing to see. This here, I believe to be a checkpoint. It actually has a springy motion in it. That's kind of cool. There we go. That's a nice little accessory. And now let's see if we're going to have the same problems with the Good Doctor as we did with Sonic. So this time I'm going to try and start with the hands. So this time the hands are free, but it's the cufflinks that they've decided to use to imprison our figure. Okay, so we have one out, and you can see the Dr. Bonnet is already halfway out of his cell. And now it is the feet that are the problem, although we do have the rest of them out. Okay, that was a slightly smoother transition than what we had with Sonic. So, let's just get rid of this. Oh, there we are. So he has one hand open, a kind of gripping motion hand here. A little bit stiff, but it's alright. Stiff is good, that means that it will stay in its pose, which is what we want to go for. A fist action here, it's not on a ball. This is, no, it isn't a ball, it's just a very, very tight ball. Okay. That's quite cool. The arms don't rotate down very much, as the Good Doctor is quite rotund. He does have all the detail on the back here. Is that a... Does he have a stomach sort of motion? No. Okay, no, this is just badly put together. That's unfortunate. Sometimes you get that. He has the nice spiky shoes, the nice spiky feet. There isn't much leg movement, but then you don't tend to get that with the Robotnik figures, because he is shaped like an egg. Nice feet movement on the ankle. The knees move, ankle moves, but the legs don't seem to do so. It's very difficult to get the arms down. Like, the arms will go from here to here, and the elbow joint is here, and that is... Like, it is on a rotation, but it's just very, very difficult to get it to stand. I mean, at best, that's him with his hands by his side, which isn't particularly fantastic. I think if we really wanted to, we would maybe... So the head doesn't really move. I think it is supposed to have movement, but it just doesn't. So I think if we maybe put him in, you know, a kind of pose like this, I'm trying to get the line to line up here on the side of his arm, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to really want to. But if we do something like that, and then pose him like that, how does that look? And he stands quite fine. So there we are. A bit of a weird positioning, especially with the big, long, gangly arms and the big, rotund body. But overall, I think that's quite a fine Dr. Bonnick. Again, the detail on the face, on the glasses, the teeth, very, very good. I like the way they've done the moustache. I think the posing of the hand is actually very good. I think that's quite a clever way. And obviously he's got the goggles. They've got all the detail. Yep, it's overall not a terrible figure. And I do like this little accessory, this little... Actually, if you see it from the other side, it's got the screws on it. So I mean, if you don't look at it from that side, you just look at it from this side, slightly better. So that is Sonic and Robotnik. So how about we go next for Supersonic, who of course is when Sonic turns Super Saiyan, when Krillin gets killed by Frieza. With his radiant gold colour and sharp red eyes, Supersonic is the ultimate form for Sonic. That's strange because I thought it was hypersonic, but never mind. So it comes with a 10 rings, kind of a crappy little accessory, I think. But I mean, it's supersonic, so I mean, people will buy it. People love supersonic. The supersonic levels are generally my favourite in all of the games. Not even just the 3D games. I mean, even go back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the Doomsday Zone. It was very, very cool. So let's get the accessory out of the way first, since we don't really care that much about it. I think, see if they just put in a regular ring rather than this that says 10 rings on it. I don't know if the 10 rings thing maybe showed up in some of the versus modes or something, you know, when you're racing against your friends. I'm not entirely sure, can't remember. Alright, it looks like this. It looks like the body is the exact same body, but it's just a different head sculpt. The hands and the arms and legs look to be posed in the exact same way. So it looks like we're going to have the same struggle here. So let's try the hands first this time, since we know that to be a problem. Welcome to opening ASMR again. Is it ASMR? Or is it AMSR? I don't know. I'm not even sure I know what it stands for. Audio something or other. Audio sensory... I don't know. Yes, at this point. Okay, let's take those as that. The legs are easy to do on this figure. I think we have one hand free. So I think if we can get the other hand free, then the top spikes will just come out easily enough. You know kind of what we're dealing with here? Like at this point? Like this hand just refuses. Okay, there, we've got the entire body out except for the hand. There we go. The hand was the last thing to come out. So, let's look at the sculpt. So, bit of a marking on the eye there. Is that dirt? Is that a paint defect? Hang on, let me just check this. No, that is a paint defect. That's unfortunate. Not a bit of dirt, can't be taken care of. Other than that, yes, the face looks very nice. You can see he's got the little grin here. Focus camera. There we are. Or the little scowl mouth, which is quite cool. The eyes are closer together and slightly smaller, which gives them the more aggressive look. The spikes are really well done on the back. The back spikes don't point upwards. I think these are supposed to point upwards. Maybe they're not actually. You know, thinking about it, maybe they do actually just stay down, maybe it's only the top ones that go up. So in terms of articulation, exactly the same as Sonic. Looks to be exactly the same, because I think it is actually just the exact same mould. It says the same feet and everything. And I mean, why shouldn't it be? Because it's exactly the same. It's literally the difference between normal and Super Saiyan. So let's put him into a little pose. There we are. How does that look? It looks alright, actually. I think that's a very nice supersonic figure. Especially in terms of the price. I mean, the price of these are relatively cheap, so long as you can get them for the retail price and not for the scam prices on the market. If you can't get them at the regular price, I would recommend waiting until you can. Don't go paying the upscale prices on the internet that you might see. Not worth it. I do not approve of scalpers at all. So our last one in the figure line is Mighty the Armadillo. Now, Mighty the Armadillo was part of Knuckles and Chaotix. He was also in, I think, the Sonic arcade game with Sonic, Ray and Mighty. And I don't think he's really been seen that much since. He was in a lot of the Sonic the Archie comics. But the whole idea of Mighty the Armadillo was he was literally just a sprite swap of Sonic the Hedgehog. And when Sega released the 32X add-on for the Mega Drive or Genesis, whichever country you're in, they wanted to make Knuckles the main character of Knuckles and Chaotix, and they didn't want to put Sonic in, so what they did was they put in Sonic, but with just this sprite change, and change him into an armadillo. Since then, in later games like Sonic Heroes and things, Mighty the Armadillo just stopped showing up. He just wasn't part of the Chaotix team. So, that is where we come into, and this is the first figure of Mighty the Armadillo that I am aware of. So as you can see, because this is a classic figure, it's got the classic look to the box. It's a classic logo, it's a classic bit at the top, but this is the same series, 11 points of articulation, and let us see what it says. Mighty is a Mighty is a powerful armadillo with a great friend to Knuckles and Ray. Just like his name implies, he's remarkably strong. So there we go. 11 points of articulation, and this is one of the classic design versions of Sonic, so it's the kind of smaller, sort of chubbier look, which is exactly what it would have been. So, let us break this open. It's remarkably... I think this is the rarest figure in the set. Maybe they made it deliberately that way because they were like, are people going to know who Mighty the Armadillo is? And let us see what's worth. So the accessory is the 10 rings box, which I think is quite cool. Even this somehow managed to get itself stuck in here, and it's literally just a square with a bit in the bottom of it. Oh my goodness. Jakks, how do you even package these things? Like, is it sorcery? Do you have a warlock on hand? Good lord. See, so the problem here is you can see that the plastic is actually across this bit here, which prevents this part from coming out. So that's what we're struggling with. There, I managed to get it out by taking the square part off first. So there we have it. Everyone is probably aware of these, the whole square boxes that contain rings or lives or invincibility or speed shoes or whatever. And now let us get into Mighty the Armadillo. I think we'll try with the feet first. Well, if you're buying these figures, you know what to get yourself in for. Prepare your hands, prepare for an exercise routine. Right, okay, we've got one hand. We've got one foot even. What is going on with this hand? There's nothing even keeping this in here. Is it the wrist? Okay, right, this fist then. Go for that. Right, stay So we need to do the ears last. That's a given. So we need to do the limbs first. Okay, we've got half a foot free. Okay, we have half a foot free. We have one arm free. We're just stuck on this arm. You know, this is why he's called Mike the Armadillo, because you have to have the strength of Hercules to get him out of there. Okay, we've got the limbs free, so now it's just pushing the actual figure himself out. Jeez. Okay, we did it. We got there, guys. After what felt like a 1,000-year war. Ooh. Okay, right, let me get rid of this packaging. Done. So, let us look and see what Mighty the Armadillo is. He actually has a lot more articulation than what I expected him to have. The head moves really nicely. Very nice. This arm seems to be a bit stuck. Don't know what's going on here. This one moves fine. You can see it's got the rotation here. Moves there. Moves like that. The feet, as always with these smaller figures, they don't have quite the same articulation, but this one actually seems alright. They seem to have improved quite a bit in the quality. I have to use a little bit of strength here, because this little bit here, there we go, it is done. And actually I think, you know, Mighty might be the nicest figure in the set. Which is saying something, because the rest of them have all been fantastic, and generally, you know, you get some, you know, some that are just crap, that they don't put any effort in. He has a little bit of problem standing. Oh, I just realised I'm off camera. You know what, if I tilt the camera down a little bit, that'll make things a bit easier. So, he does have a little bit of problem standing, but yeah, I think he's not terrible. What poses can we do with him? That bit there seems a little bit stiff. Have him raise his hand. And we do something like that. There. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks quite alright. So, for this next part, let's just bring the camera down a little bit, so we can show some comparison shots. So, in terms of comparison, let's get this out of the way first, and we'll bring back our main hero, Sonic the Hedgehog, who is refusing to stand, once again, as I said. That is a bit of a problem that they have. Stay, stay, stay. Okay. And face the camera. There we are. So, in terms of Sonic, what do we have? We have the... So this is Jakks Pacifics, I believe? Is that correct? Yes, okay. So these are Jakks Pacifics. So we're going to look at the Jazzwares. So first of all, we have the classic Sonic from Jazzwares. Again, same problem, refuses to stand. As you can see, that probably is the right height difference for the classic Sonic and the modern Sonic, because the modern Sonic is supposed to be significantly taller, and just fallen over. Then we have the Jazzwares, I think this was Sonic Heroes level type style. So as you can see, the modern Sonic that we have, the 4-inch one from Jazzwares, is quite a bit taller than what this one is. Put this over here. Can you hold him? There we go. So yeah, you can see there's quite the height difference. And the last one we need to look at is the Sonic Boom Sonic, which is again round about the same height. So as you can see, there is a significant difference in terms of height, but not so terrible that it wouldn't They wouldn't go out of place. So in terms of detail, I think the Sonic Boom figure has a lot of nice touches on it. The Jazzwares one, they put a lot of effort into making it articulated. You can see just all the points there on the legs, the arms, the stomach swivel, the elbow joints, the shoulders, everything. And they've actually, in fairness, they haven't done too bad a job of the face either. But it looks a bit too messy. It doesn't look very nice. Whereas the Sonic Boom Sonic, for the legs, you literally only have one pivot, which is just the leg. It's not on a ball or anything. The arms are on these little shoulder socket joints, and you've got articulation in the head, but that's all you get. But you do get a very nice figure with all of the detail. You can see that the shoes aren't greatly painted. There isn't a lot of detail in there. But then I don't think there was ever really supposed to be. It's strange because in the lore of was it Rise of Lyric? I think it was. The Sonic Boom characters are actually meant to be ancestors, or not ancestors. The original Sonic characters are meant to be ancestors to the Sonic Boom characters. They're not the same people. So that's an interesting tidbit for you. Next up, let's look at Supersonic, shall we? So this is the Jakks Pacific Supersonic. It actually sits very nicely, if I'm honest. And we have here the Jazzwares Supersonic, who does not stand for love nor money. I prefer... Oh. Again, this is the problem. Like, they have these loose articulations, and really, this Supersonic needs the stand in order to stand, because without that, he just has no chance. But, see, and even the knees and legs are loose, so it's very, very annoying. There, I think that's the best we're going to get, but it doesn't actually come off all that well on the camera, but the Supersonic of the new one is actually a much nicer Supersonic. The yellow of the new Supersonic is actually nicer than the original Jazzwares one. The original Jazzwares one looks like it has a bit of a green tint to it, but you didn't really notice that until you actually put it next to another Supersonic. In terms of the looks, I think they've done really well, because the face of Supersonic is meant to look quite quite kind of evil. The eyes are meant to be together and things. To show another little bit of comparison, here is the Super Shadow, which comes from the triple pack with Supersonic, Super Silver, and Super Shadow. And then, just to give a comparison to the size of that, we shall put in the Sonic Boom Shadow, which Shadow wasn't in Sonic Boom for a very long length of time. I think he was only in one episode, maybe 2 episodes, but he wasn't like a mainstay character, but they did release a figure of him, and he looks exactly the same as regular Shadow. I don't think they actually made any differences. But then I think there was maybe something about that in Rise of Lyric, that Shadow was actually the original Shadow and not a descendant or ancestor. So, that's a random Sonic lore. I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me how wrong I am with my lore knowledge. Next up, let's look at the good Dr. Robotnik himself. So this is the more modern version of him, I believe. So over here we have the classic Dr. Robotnik from the original 16-bit era games, and as you can see, he used to be quite a chonky boy, quite chonk. Robotnik is supposed to be significantly taller than the rest of the characters, so this does kind of work well for him. We then have the original Jazzwares Dr. Robotnik, which is actually very, very similar to the new one. I think the new one is actually slightly better. They've put a lot more detail into the eyes, into the moustache. made it really kind of pop quite a bit. And then lastly we have the Sonic Boom Dr. Robotnik, where he became hench, where he just lived in a gym for a decade and a half and just became really buff. And there is your evolution of Dr. Robotnik's, which is very, very nice, very strange. I think this version is the one that Jim Carrey was trying to be in the Sonic the movie. It was just called Sonic the movie. When I said Sonic the movie, I immediately thought of the original animated movie that had Metal Sonic in it. And lastly, we have to look at Mighty the Armadillo. Now, obviously, this is the first ever character of Mighty the Armadillo. So, what can we compare him with? The only thing that makes sense is to go with Chaotix. So there he is next to his good friend Espio the Chameleon and their supposed leader, Victor the Crocodile. I think Victor became the leader in Sonic Heroes, and up until that point they were just kind of a group of individuals. And of course you can't have Chaotix without putting in Knuckles there. So the Jazzwares were actually really good at sizes, because Victor is supposed to be massive in comparison to the rest of the Chaotix. Now, Espio and Victor came out much later, and you can see that they improved quite a lot on the figures by that point. But with Knuckles, that is one of the original Knuckles. I think that Knuckles actually was the one that came with the Sonic Racers, where he came with his little dirt bike thing. And lastly, the only one from this we can compare it with is the very, very hench Knuckles from Sonic Boom. I almost said Sonic Heroes, and I was thinking, no, that's not right. But yes, you can see that the Sonic Boom Knuckles is significantly taller, as he's meant to be. They've made him a lot more buff, because Knuckles is supposed to be like super strong. That's what his gimmick was from the very beginning of Sonic. From his first appearance in Sonic and Knuckles, he was able to break walls and things with his fists, and obviously climb with his knuckles, which is not what most echidnas can do. So, as you can see, Mighty stands quite a bit taller than the rest of them, but he's not so out of proportion that, I mean, he should be a little bit smaller. He should be about the size of Espio, maybe a bit smaller. But I think actually it doesn't look terrible. It's actually fine for what it is. So, yes, right, well, let's move these guys away, and we shall do one final comparison shot before ending the video. Move away these Knuckles. And let us bring back all of today's characters. So there we have Mighty, Sonic. If I turn Sonic to the side, will that make him stand easier? Yeah, that does. That's much easier to pose that way. Super Sonic, of course. You know what? We'll move you over to the side a little bit there, Mighty. So as you can see, there is a height difference between Sonic and Super Sonic, but that is because the spikes flick upwards. We're going to put Mighty over here, since he did start off as a sprite swap for Sonic. So I think that makes sense. It constantly feels like Mighty's about to fall over, and then he doesn't. So that's unusual. And lastly, of course, the good Doctor, Dr. Robotnik himself, Mr. Eggman. So that is the new line of figures, the whole new series. Position Super Sonic to look at the camera. Oh, very nice. And let us just do some final comparison shots. So, for anyone interested, so here we have the Jazzwares Sonic or Shadow on his bike from the Shadow the Hedgehog games. There we go, finally. We'll put you over here so you can see the comparison with the vehicle. Let's bring back the Chaotix characters. So there we have SBO and Knuckles. And we'll put Victor in the back. And let's bring out the Dr. Robotniks as well. So there we have the two versions that are the closest to one another. The Hench Doctor, you know what, the Hench Doctor, you can sit there next to Shadow. And of course the very original Dr. Robotnik himself. And let us go for the Sonics. So we shall shove the Sonics just round about here in the centre, making a bit of a mess. The classic Sonic, who always refuses to stand, regardless of what you do. The Sonic Boom Sonic. And while we're doing the Sonic Boom characters, there's the Sonic Boom Shadow and Sonic Boom Knuckles. See, is there any way... Oh, move the camera. Is there any way to get this Sonic to stand? Because, unfortunately, just the posability on him is just terrible. That's a little bit better. Just requires a little bit of moulding. And I think he moved Super Shadow, or Super Sonic a little bit. Let's bring in the Supers last. So we have the Super Sonic, the Super Shadow. And of course, for anyone that really cares, we can't go doing a comparison video without everyone's favourite character from Sonic Adventure 2, of course, Big the Cat, who does stand absolutely massive, as well he should, because Big the Cat is supposed to be ginormous, and of course he comes with Froggy. Big the Cat, or also known as Big the Fat, which is not entirely an incorrect description of him. And lastly, we have, I think this was Jazzwares, I think this is 8-inch Sonic the Hedgehog, which is the 8-inch Super Sonic, which does have the little articulated spikes in the back. And that is us. Lastly, let's just throw in today's little accessories. And there we go. That is a little Sonic collection. It's obviously not my entire collection. My entire collection is massive when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog. I am a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Have been since Sonic 1, which I got as a very, very young and small child. And yes, since then, Sonic 2, and I've just continued going through all the Sonic games. All the horrible, horrible Sonic games, right up until the modern era. I just realised that the Sonic Boom Knuckles was off stage. If we just rotate this up a little bit. Nope, nope. Rotate up a little bit. And to the side a bit more. Up a little bit, thank you. Then there you have a perfect size comparison shot of all of our different characters. So I think it's quite nice. I really like this new line. I think they're very well designed. I think they've got a lot of detail put into them, a lot of work. You can definitely tell that it's people that care about Sonic that have made these, because they made Mighty the Armadillo, and you know, when was the last time anyone thought about Mighty the Armadillo? Probably a lot of it might be the Sonic game, where you can now play as Mighty and Ray. Can't remember what it's called. It's Sonic XL. It's on the newest consoles. Sonic Mania, that's it. It might be the Sonic Mania that's brought back the franchise a little bit. And obviously the Sonic the Movie, which managed to get the merchandise going again. So we might see more in the future, but as for today, that is us. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave it a like, share and subscribe, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye everybody.